good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, how everybody doing? Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, we gonna get this party started, man. We got a treat for you guys this morning. Hey, it's gonna be great, man. Hey, one of my good friends on with me today, man. So, what's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Twitter? It's your boy Billy Ratliff here with the Volunteer Road Show, and we're gonna have some fun this morning, man. And he's listening right now, and when I say this, he's gonna be like, "Ah, that's my man." But I always start my show off with this saying, guys. Hey, great day to be alive, guys. Hey, great day to get better. And he knows what it means. Wait till I bring him in. And you guys, he's gonna be smiling big, and you go. I wish I could have my old coach on here right now, as he would probably say, "Hey, old Bill Duff, what is going on?" So I'm gonna welcome my man to the show here, guys. Bill Duff is with me this morning, guys. Bill, how you doing this morning, my man?
I'm doing really good, Rat. How are you, big guy?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Hey, I just told everybody, man, great day to be alive, man. I'm trying to get better today, man, and do right by what I do every day, man. One day at a time, man. How you doing, my man? Tell everybody what's been going on, man.
Just, enjoying my time here in quarantine, just like everybody else. Taking it serious, though, because it's no joke.
Yeah, man, this quarantine thing, man. So how are you holding up with that, man? I mean, everybody asks me, what am I doing? Am I bored? And I was like, man, hey, I'm from the country, man. Hey, we don't get bored. We find things to do. Hey, that's every day of my life is boring. I just find a way to make it happen.
No, yeah, well, I did finally get down to cleaning out my second shed, and I found about a 6 foot rat snake in there.
Oh,
Uh,
man.
so that was kind of interesting. It was fun. My daughter came out and got to touch its tail and all that kind of cool stuff.
See, now I'm a country boy, but hey, long as you messing with those snakes, you can keep your snakes, man. That's one thing I'm not gonna deal with is snakes. No.
Well, I'll tell you, they don't bother me. But when I was in Cambodia once, doing a TV show, they made me try some. I had to eat a bite of snake, and they do not taste like chicken. They don't.
Somebody was trying to tell me that. Somebody, oh yeah, man, snakes taste like. I said, no, it don't.
No.
Y'all confusing gator with chicken.
And gator doesn't taste like chicken
That's what I'm
either.
saying. Like, ugh,
Yeah.
I'm a chicken man. I don't compare. There's nothing that compares to chicken, man. Oh man, Bill, hey, you was telling me this, man. I mean, hey, I was gonna let you say, but what are you doing? I mean, I heard that you're writing something that I didn't know you was a writer, man, until you reminded me what you did with your major when I was first there. Tell everybody what you're doing, man.
So I just released a my first novel. Got printed up at Page Publishing up in New York. It's a serial killer novel, all fictitious. It's set in a little town I grew up next to in New Jersey, called Riverside, New Jersey. It has a spooky clock tower, so it's kind of set in the shadow of that. And it was just released, so it's a very mature book. It's for grown-ups. But if you want to, get scared, and if you like Stephen King and books like that, just go to Amazon and type in "Meet Mr. Brackstone." That's the title of the book, and hopefully you'll like it. Other than that, I work a night job at a casino as an executive up here in MGM in Washington D.C.
Man, Bill Duff right out here in the casinos, man. I can't even imagine you being like that, man. I'm just picturing you right now. It's like almost like a movie, thinking of you doing being the executive in the casino, man, walking up like the mafia and all that. Uh,
No, no, nothing like that. No.
Yes, hey, I'm gonna tell you this here. Like, when I first got to Tennessee, guys, and see, of course, I was a linebacker. Of course, all these guys was always telling me, "Oh, you want to be a linebacker long?"
I was a linebacker too, just so you know, when I went.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know.
linebacker
Oh,
slash tight end.
wow. See, guys, I told you guys they knew how to move you. I mean, they probably did build the same way. Hey, You got to get our best 11 guys on the field. And
Yep. Like,
Bill,
why don't you try defensive end? Hey, man, you did so good at end. Why
oh
don't you try
wow,
tackle?
come on, man! They did all my boys like that. See, guys, I'm telling you guys. See, that's how they recruited. They just recruited speed and just put you out there and make sure you made plays.
Listen, when they recruited me, and I think it was the same in your era, Fulmer always told me he was looking for guys who played 2 or 3 sports and were good at all of them. And I know that you were a freaky athlete, and everyone I can remember in those D line meeting rooms were, I mean, not just great football players, but great at something else too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, you had to. I mean, that's something that like even now when I talk to kids and they say their coach tell them they can only play this sport or like they only play basketball or baseball or whatever. I'm like, guys, that's not up to your coach, man. If you want to play a different sport and if they don't want you on their team, they didn't want you on the team from the beginning. Because I tell you this here, when I played, our basketball team or baseball team or track team, they didn't start winning until the football season was over.
Right,
So
right.
there's so many athletes that play football, man, and you go look at it now to this day. Go talk to Coach Saban, go talk to Dabo. He'll tell you, I need the athletes that's going to be able to play 2, 3 sports, and people ask me, what's the reason behind that? Discipline.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Discipline. And of course,
Yeah.
they automatically know you're an athlete. If you can do all that stuff, hey, football becomes easy, man. And I think that's what end up me made end why I ended up playing football because the basketball court wasn't good for knees.
No.
it
Well,
was,
to be honest, the football field isn't much better.
it ain't, man. It ain't. It
No.
most definitely ain't, man. Because gosh, I've had what 1, 2, 3. I've had 3 knee surgeries, and I'm talking about
Hmm.
3 ACLs torn.
Wow.
Now,
That's incredible.
oh yeah, and so and Bill, I went back probably about 2 months ago and saw Dr. Mathians, and Dr. Mathians, just basically doing my yearly checkups and check my knees out because they're deteriorating, and I just wanted to know. And he wanted to do X-rays on both of my knees, and the only knee that was hurting was my left one. I had some issues. I said, "Okay, yeah, just check that out." He said, "Well, we're gonna check both of them because I remember we doing that right knee, and we was thinking about you're gonna probably have that knee replaced by the time you turn 30." I was
Hmm.
like, "Whoa, okay, yeah, I do remember Dr. Yovins telling me that."
So you got the buy one get one deal? Is that what it was?
Ah, man, I still got one of my knees, man. I have both of mine. I haven't got the one to replace yet because they still been wanting me to replace it, but I have no pain in the one that they want to replace. That's
Yeah,
the
then
that's
don't do it.
so that's what I was telling. I was like, I'm not doing that. I mean, because all the people I
Yeah.
know that have had their knees replaced, that recovery is a bitch. It's no joke.
Hmm.
I mean,
I think Coach Fulmer had both of his done.
yeah, and I've seen Coach
Yeah.
Fulmer in pain and walking around like that too. I'm not ready
Wow.
for that. You
All
know,
right. Well,
you have yours replaced?
no, sir. I've never had a surgery in my life.
I'm about to say,
Knock
Bill,
on
yeah,
wood.
I'm gonna say you're bionic. I'm gonna say you haven't had no surgeries.
No, no. My issues always were in other areas besides that. But you find me a football player without an issue, I'll find you a guy who only played Pee Wee football.
Man, so back to this novel, man. It's like, what made you write this novel?
Well, I always wrote. So coming out of high school, I was in a group called Quill and Scroll, which was a writing group. And I got to Tennessee, and I wanted to be an English major. So my first 2 years, I took a lot of classes along those lines, but just that part of it didn't work out, and I switched over into sociology, which I loved as well. But those two kind of met in the book because it's, we all know stories like Silence of the Lambs
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And I always gravitated towards the Stephen Kings and the genres like that. So that's really where it came from. And it's something I wanted to do. Everyone should sit down and make a list and say, hey, what is it that drives me and makes me want to wake up in the morning? Um, And I love working at the casino. It's really cool. It's entertainment, but that doesn't drive me to want to do it. But writing does. So I'm already halfway through my second book, so this won't be the only one.
Oh wow, man! Like, Bill, I don't tell you this here, man. Like, of course, Jeff Coleman. He's gonna be on us when he actually sees this. He's gonna say, "What you doing with Bill Duff on the show, man?"
Well, he doesn't like white people, so hey, Jeff.
JC, he's always been hell on everybody, man. And it don't matter who it is, what it is, he's gonna give you hell regardless, man. Like you can be the best at whatever you do. JC is better.
Absolutely. Well, every team has that guy on it, and ours,
Hey,
JC was definitely our guy.
gosh, man. Matter of fact, I wish I had him on the show right now, man.
Sometimes I'll take the opposite direction of whatever he's taking on Facebook just to get him in an argument.
Hey, when JC went quiet, I think he was off for probably like a 2 weeks or something like that, and and you could tell people missed him because when he signed back up,
But he was in Facebook jail, right?
they, they was like Jeff, where you been? And like they didn't even worry about his title. They was like, where you been? And see me like I love JC, man. Let me tell you what I live like on Facebook, man. Like if I see somebody that has something that's just crazy that they're talking about, I'll tag Jeff in it.
Tyron Robinson does the same thing. You guys are just stirring the pot.
And see, I'm looking for Craig King, man, because Craig was the same way though.
I haven't heard about or seen Craig on
Uh,
anything social media wise.
no, now that's one thing about. There's two people that you probably won't ever see on social media. That's Craig King and Al Wilson. They're not gonna mess with that platform.
Al, that might be a safe choice with the guys who are out there on social media.
Al, he would not do it, man. So many people try to get him to do it. Like Al, like Fred White, he's down there. George Kidd is they all in Atlanta. They always try to get him to do it. He's not gonna do it. And Craig, no, he's too private, man. He's too private. He won't let nobody see anything he's doing, man. He'll be afraid someone is gonna tell him to show his feet or something.
Yeah, I mean, I see Al plenty on Fred's Facebook, but
Yeah,
I
but
know he doesn't
yeah,
have his own.
he won't never do his own. He'll always take
No,
like the pictures or anything like that, and he'll
right.
do like a little video for the kids or something. But he won't do nothing. He won't do anything himself. No.
Hey, maybe that's smarter, but
Yeah.
who knows?
And I was like that for a long time, and because to this day I still have yet to post anything like a picture, or anything like personally, anything like. Everyone said, "Man, why you don't put anything up? Like you don't even say happy birthday to people." I'm like, man, that's not my. I don't do that. Like I don't do it in real life. Like
I remember my wife one time asked me,
oh
"What? Hey,
gosh.
what did the football like? What did your defensive line do for you guys like on your birthday? Did they like make cake?" I'm like, "No, they didn't make a cake. That wasn't how it was. You might get some mud cake from
Hey,
Mrs. Brooks.
that's
That's
it.
about it.
Hey, that was
Yeah,
all in one. Your birthday would be the dirt cake.
dirt cake day. Everyone gets
Hey,
to share.
hey, Miss Kathy, she's actually she still makes it, man. Like if you ever need it, she'll ship it to you. Yeah, cause
Well,
that's some good
I'm
stuff
trying to
there,
I'm
boy.
trying to stay away from all forms of cake right now.
Well, I'm actually gonna start back. You know how all the big guys will have a date that they start, because they want to go on a 24-hour to 48-hour binge of something before they start. Whether
Right.
it's all you can eat, some type of meat or something, but I'm gonna get myself together, man. I'm trying to figure out a way, man, like to create a platform like for us ex guys, the guys that they didn't teach how to get it off.
They
But
taught me how to do it. I just don't want to do it anymore.
oh man, yeah, I stuck in them. They was tough on us, man. When you couldn't make weight, so you'd be like
Oh,
290 or something like that, and knowing you need to be about 282 in a sense, and us we'll lose 10, but we'll gain 15.
yeah. No, I don't. I don't miss those talks.
Oh man.
I had such a problem keeping weight on in college, and they'd call me in and say, "Man, is the food okay? Is everything all right with you?" And I'd say, "Well, you keep running my ass 4 hours a day, and maybe if you stopped running us so much, I could gain some weight." No, they weren't going to do that.
Man, that's crazy, man. 'Cause like me, my weight was so up and down, man. I never knew what what my weight was gonna be. I mean, I can be 275 one week, 285 the next week, but Stucky and them, they would always be on me about that though. Like, man, Worm, you got to stay away from the training table, or you got to go to the training table. I'm like, come on, coach, what is it gonna be, man? Can I just want to play ball, man?
I remember Stuckey when he first started there, coming through and looking at everybody's plate in Gibbs Hall,
Yep.
and it was like he would have these laser focused eyes. If you had like a piece of fried food on there or something,
Oh
he
man.
could make you feel like a horrible human being for eating
Oh
a piece of fried
man.
chicken. He really could.
Yes. Oh, he did all the time, man. I mean, and I tell you, a player that I felt so sorry for when he did that was you remember Bernard Good 340.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They used to have a watch, a hit on three. Would they tell us do not take him to the strip or do not take him to Gus?
They had a food watch.
Oh man, cause three used to they used to go hard, man, at Gus or McDonald's, especially when McDonald's used to have those burgers on sale, like 49, 59 cents or something like that.
Yeah, that was they were just trying to hurt people at that point.
Oh man, those were the days, man. There's so much, man. Well, I got to ask you the question, man. Everybody asks me, so I'm gonna ask you, man.
Go ahead.
So, what do you think about the Vols, man? How you think the Vols are doing, man, with Coach Pruitt over there? I mean, Coach Former being back. What do you think about that?
Well, obviously, I love that Fulmer's back. I'm a Fulmer guy, and he's such a great personality, let alone coach. It's going to do nothing but great for the university. And I like Pruitt so far. So, I think he's a football coach. I think Bush Jones uh, did his best. Just he didn't remind me of a southeastern, even a northeastern football coach. He was just very markety. He always had a saying
Yeah,
for everything.
yeah, and, and that's who he was, man. I mean, like I tell you, like I tell everybody what I thought about the situation, especially with the hiring process after they let my coach go, or how they did our coach here. So when when Coach Former left, me personally, I don't think they did enough to get the right man in there for the job. And what I say by that is normally when someone gets rid of you, they bring someone in better than you or just as good as you, in a sense. And that's in every job that I've ever heard of, been around, or when I grew up, or parents, or anybody. I don't go and hire a little league football coach for a college football coaching job. If I'm going to hire a football coach, I want a college football coach or some experience in that sense. And when they went and got Kiffin, it shocked me when they did it because I was like, okay, this guy hasn't really won anything, or I don't even know who he is. I don't even think Art Shell and them knew who he was. They just knew his Monty, his dad, and all that stuff. I'm quite sure he did a great job when he was interning in NFL and all that stuff, and that's why they hired him as a head coach with the Oakland Raiders. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, Coach Kiffin, he was great with the kids. That the kids love him. He knew how to recruit. To this day, I think he would be a good coach if he would have stuck it out here at UT. But at the time, I don't think it was the right hire. They didn't do like how the LSU's or the Alabama did. They went and got Nick. They know
Right.
Nick Saban coached college ball. They knew he over there winning championship at LSU. So guess what? We're going out here and get the best coach that's available at the moment. I don't think we did that. I think this is the first year as a coaching search. They went out there and got the best coach that's available. And what I mean by that, a winning coach, someone that's used to winning in college or know what it takes to be successful in college or know who's at the SEC, period. They didn't do that when they went and got Dooley.
No, they sure didn't.
They didn't do that when they went and got Coach Jones. They didn't do that. I'm like, guys, I mean, did you guys do this on purpose? Are you guys trying to make my Vols look bad? Because that's the way I looked at it, man. I mean, until now, it's the first time they actually got a real football coach to me personally.
Yeah, quite honestly, I don't think they really gave Lane Kiffin a hard enough look. I mean, from my standpoint, because there's got to be something wrong with the guy's character. As many places that he's been, as many bad things he's done. I mean, I wouldn't want my boy playing for him. I don't know about you. Um, but, I think we're in a good position now. I think Pruitt says the right things, and it looks like the guys are getting back into the type of shape they need to be in. Because we both know that's probably more important than anything.
That's the biggest thing of college football, any sport, man. I say it all the time, Bill. I tell people there's two parts of a program. If you're gonna get when you get new coaches, there's two parts that you don't get rid of. One part that's the medical staff and the strength and conditioning staff.
Couldn't agree more.
You got to have those two because those are the only two parts of the program that sees these kids more than anybody, more than the coaches, everything. They know your body. They know what you're going through. Heck, they know a lot about your life because they're with you that much. That's their job. And when we went through that many strength and conditioning coaches after Johnny Long, that's when we went downhill.
Well, I mean, if you look at the men of summer photos and those like types of things we did back then, we were freak shows. I mean, people would look at us when we'd go through, movie theaters or hotels, and it was like, oh my god, look at those guys. And not to take away from some of the other teams that we've had since, but I just didn't get that impression from those players as a whole. Now, there's been some freaks and some really good athletes go out there, but not on like a 90 to 95% ratio like we had.
Oh yeah, Bill, you're right about that, man. I mean, because I go and look back and see like even some of the men of summer posters and see some of the guys that's on these posts. I'm like, man, we were freaks, man. I'm like, good lord. I mean, heck, you shucks, man. I mean, playing DT. I'm like, gosh, man, this is what I got to compete with. I'm like, hey, I remember when they moved me down to D line, and Coach Foreman gave me that crazy speech, had me hyped up in my head, talking about we got to have, I think you're one of our best 11 players, Billy, on defense, and
This sounds familiar. Sing it. Let me hear
and
it. Come
he
on.
said he said, you're playing linebacker right now. We got plenty of guys over here. I think that if you move down here to defensive end, you got a great chance of playing. And I think you're one of our best 11 players on the field. We got to get our best guys on the field, and I think you're one of those guys. And he got hit them little hands, his
Yeah.
fingers crossed over there, with them little beady eyes on you, and
Oh yeah.
he's not gonna take them off you until it's like a staring contest. Until you turn your head, he's gonna blink then. And Bill, and I remember when they moved me over there to DN, and they told me who I was gonna be, what side I was gonna play, and I'm like, Okay, so I thought I was the best 11, and you got me behind number one, Leonard
behind
Little.
Leonard Little. Yeah, you're not starting, buddy.
But then I realized what they did, man. They had different packages back there where they wanted us like playing the three technique when we played the bear stuff, like how you was
Uh,
hell playing that zero or that right tackle. It was crazy, man. How they put things together that made us so good, man.
well, I remember I think I ran like a 4.68 or something like that, 40 the senior year, and I remember being the slowest 40 time among the started defense, and I'm like, how is that even possible?
That's crazy, ain't it, man?
I mean, it was just yeah, I just and then get the guys who were you and Darwin and JC, the guys behind. A lot of people don't know they're pushing the starters for playing time, and like everyone says, from that generation, Jonathan Brown, Leonard Little, and I goes, you don't realize that these guys didn't have a good game. They literally got less reps. That's how good everybody was in the room.
Yes, yes, and I'm telling you, that's where it started at with you guys, man. Like, what class were you, Bill? What class did you come in with?
Came in technically, I guess it's the 93 class,
Okay, so
93, 94 class.
so 93, 94 is what I call the foundation of Tennessee throughout the 90s. You guys put on the biggest show that made everybody behind you wanted to be so good. I mean, when you go into our weight room and you see Shane Burton, Bill Duff, these guys, Steve White, bench press and dumbbells that are bigger than I don't know what. And I'm like, man, gosh. And I'm telling you, this is what I had to compete with, guys. These guys are bench pressing 150-pound dumbbells like it was nothing. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah,
gosh. I mean, and me, I'm coming out of high school, never really lifting weights anyway. I mean, my weights was on the farm, picking up 5-gallon water buckets and stuff, slopping hogs and all that stuff, baling hay. But when I saw you guys, man, and I realized what I had to do to be able to compete, to even get on the field, that is what Tennessee has been missing for a long time as well. And I call it leadership. Guys
yeah,
ahead of them. And of course, back then we didn't have it where, guys were leaving early after their junior year and stuff. We had what was called you had to wait till your turn. Wait till your senior year. Wait till you get out there. I mean, of course if we knew what we know back then or what we know now, I'm quite sure a lot of guys would have moved on a lot sooner because they had the ability to do that.
yeah. We played in a different era.
Yeah.
That era is gone. It'll never be back. Um, I don't. You know what? I picked up the college football helmet the other day. I don't know if you still got yours, but
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of I have that and I have the new ones, and I think our college football helmets were about 10 or 12 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and these helmets now they're like not even a pound and a half or something.
Pleather. That's what I called
Yeah,
them.
I just I mean I really feel like we played in an era that'll never be seen again, and as now I'm waxing nostalgic. I sound like an author. Uh, yeah, maybe it's a good thing that it'll never be seen again like that because that was some brutal football.
Yeah, but I say that too. It's the helmets, the concussions. It's the helmets because they are changing them. They're trying to make them the aerodynamics, all this stuff. They're trying to put all these gadgets inside the helmet and stuff. Like get all that stuff out of there and go back to the old school ideal and put the cushion back in the helmets. Protect them.
There's a lot of people saying take them off.
Well, I mean, heck, if that's what it's going to take for them to I guess what they're saying to try to protect them.
Yeah,
Well,
well, they do it in Australia.
well, it ain't nothing they can do to.
They're
to
not going to stop the billion-dollar machine. That's for sure.
it's hard, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the helmet to helmet is hard to not place a helmet on another helmet because your eyes looking for a target, and wherever your target is, that's where you're gonna hit. So unless they put your eyeball somewhere else on your body, there's no way physically possible to not do helmet to helmet.
Yeah, I quite honestly, I still watch the line quite a bit, and those guys are still knocking heads. I they're not playing much different than we did. Am I missing something? Do you see the same thing?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. I mean, how are you going to have linemen who run 4.5, 4.6, 4.7 40s coming off full speed at each other and say, "Oh, well, don't touch that guy in the head. Don't touch face masks." So maybe there is some credence to take the damn helmets off, and then you're not going to ram your head into someone else's face.
Uh, if they put it like this, if they do that, I sure hope they have a great dental plan.
Listen, you still have all your teeth?
Bill, I got all my teeth, man. Hey,
Oh,
come on, baby.
all right. Well,
I love them.
I had a couple pulled.
Oh man, hey, I always made sure I got a brand new mouthpiece every game.
I had a collision in pro football with my mouthpiece in. I cracked my back molar into
Ow.
four pieces.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, Bill, yeah, you was blessed and fortunate enough to make it to the NFL, man, because once you got to the NFL, you was playing with nothing but football players.
Yeah, no, there were some freaks in the NFL, but again, I played back in the time where backup linemen didn't get really paid that much. So
hmm
not that I love the experience of all the football I played, but the one thing I knew was I was going to work after football, and that was a little bit extra motivating for me after football was over,
hmm
because a lot of guys, they make so much money where they really don't have to do a damn thing.
hmm
Um, and I think society misses out on some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Some of these leaders and men who've really moved mountains on the football field, they think it's over once they stop playing, but I think that's really when all those lessons you learn should be put to use.
That's where it should just start. That's where it's just beginning. Life, the real
Right?
world, as I call it.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, I'm gonna go over to the chat, man, because I think they're talking about you over here, Bill. Let's go over and see what's
Oh,
going on, man. Let's see what we have here. Who we have on here? Let's see. Where's my chat? Hey, my buddy Mike Curcio is on here, man. He's from New York, man.
oh, how you doing, Mike?
He played with Townsend, man. He says that's the real UT.
He's a tiger.
Yeah, man. Hey, so he's like, hey, Bill wore that 50, old school. He said the
Yeah.
technology has changed. Yes, it has, man. Yes, it
you,
has.
well, when they give you 50 at UT, they have no idea where you're going to play.
Hey, you see what? I mean, look what they gave me, Bill.
Yeah, you're
they
40,
they
I'm
gave me
50,
number
right?
40. I'm like, hold on, man. I started thinking about that too. I was like, those freshman practices when they trying to figure out where they gonna play yet, offense or
Right.
defense. They got you, trying your tight end or this here, and they had me doing tight end, and I was like, hold on, man, because I went back and I called my people at home, and I was like, man, they got me a tight end throwing me balls, man. They said, well, you if you don't want to play offense, you might want to stop catching balls.
Yeah, drop them balls.
So that next practice, when they went out there that evening practice, Bill, I'm dropping everything, man. I'm out there. I mean, I turned into from having soft hands to just straight brick hands.
Well, now you know how Jeff Coleman feels every day. His hand, he couldn't catch a cold. I remember those when Dan Brooks would throw us those balls, and Caldwell before the game. I don't know if he ever caught one.
Yep, him and Leonard Little both. Leonard always talking about like when he thought he was act like he's gonna catch a pick, and he always point his hand to the end zone like he was gonna get down there to a touchdown.
Right.
I'm like, hey man, you gotta catch the ball first. Oh,
It pissed him off so much when I scored that touchdown on Ole Miss when he got the
oh
quarterback.
man.
He never let me hear the end of it, and that's a guy who never says anything.
Oh man. Yeah, Curse just said, "Oh yeah, man, we'd have beat that ass." He said, loves Bill's motor when he played, man. Like, that's one thing about Duff had, man. He had that motor, man, with those hands. When he used those hands and hips, and man, it just he made it look so easy. And then of course, when I tried to go out there and mimic it, it didn't work.
Well, I always tell people this: you had probably one of the quickest get offs I've ever seen in my entire life, and I don't think anybody would argue that. And really, because you never know when that moment's going to come in any game. That was your defining moment as a volunteer in the Arkansas game, and
Oh,
you know that better than I do. But if you didn't have that get off and they didn't take that linebacker, turn him into an end, who turned into a tackle, there would be no national title for UT in '98.
that's true, man. That's true, man. I mean, that's that. But I don't know if you had a chance to ever even watch that Arkansas game, man.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Bill, you know that
Yeah.
that series. I mean, I pretty much played the whole game. Me and Jeff. You know how we alternate, we rotate. We go three plays, and of course, you always have one guy that's a senior that never want to come out the game. But even though they out there broke off and tired,
Yeah, that was never me.
so I'm going against this kid, Brandon Burrsworth, man. And Bill, when I say the man was a technician, man, he didn't look like that on film when we were watching him, Bill. And
That's funny.
of course, all our linebackers, how they talk trash to anybody and anybody, man. And
Of course.
I tell everybody to this day, they activated Brandon Burrsworth on me, man. And it sucked because this man, Bill, when I say who would I compare him to? When everybody was telling me he was a freak of nature with his hands. Remember how everybody
Yeah.
used to talk about Larry Allen?
Yeah. Yeah.
And get his hands on you, it's over.
Right.
Well, that's how it was with him, man. It's like every time you hit this man, it's almost like you was getting a stinger or just something. I'm like, shit. So
Mm.
I didn't make, normally we make, some tackle for losses and stuff throughout the game and stuff. And, as a defensive line, D tackle, based on how our defense is ran anyway, we run G aim or anything like that, we're going to make a play in the backfield.
Yeah. Gap shooting.
Well, how about I tell you this here, man? Me, Darwin, Jeff, we had pretty much zero stats against this man up
Hey,
until that last series. I made a tackle for loss, and then I pushed him back, and he tripped. That's the only stats we had on the board, Bill.
make the play when it counts.
This man was something else, man. I'm telling you. I mean, he was probably one of the best offensive linemen I ever played against, bro. And I played against a lot of good ones, especially at UT.
That was the toughest dude you ever played against.
Ooh, Bill. I'm telling you, Bill. Hey, this you pull out this here. When you when you dance with the man and you pull out the spin move.
Yeah. Spin on air.
Yes, that's the type of technician he was, man.
Well, I think the toughest dude I played against was Jonathan Ogden. That dude was a
Ooh,
monster.
man.
He decleated me at UCLA, and I still to this day have ringing in my ear. And he was a human being, man.
Man, yes he was, man. Yes he was. Gosh, man, I forgot all about. Oh man, I don't even want to get in, man. We get into that, man. Like some of the players that we played against, man. Some of the teams we played against. Of course, everybody remember you with the Ohio State game we played in the Citrus Bowl, the goal line
Right.
stand, man. Like everybody still talks about that, man. It's like right now I have my buddy Keith Rickers on. He said Bills Duff took Eddie George's lunch money, baby.
Well, if you actually watch that series, the play right before the stop as they called it or whatever. Um, that's I mean the whole line, basically the defensive line and their offensive line got to John because it was a collision,
Mm-hmm.
and you could just feel something in the air. You know what I mean? When those big plays happen, I don't know what it is, but I just knew. Like I said, there ain't no way he's getting in, and I felt like everybody around me felt the same way.
Most definitely, man. And see, and I was a freshman. I redshirted that year. I was on the sideline. Matter of fact, I was actually on the sideline on crutches that game. Hey, those crutches was like my best friend, man. I used to hate them damn things.
Man, I always felt so bad when I saw you guys on.
Oh man. And of course, I do anything and whatever it took to get back on the field, man. I was like, y'all ain't about to have all the fun by yourself. Hey,
Yeah, Matt Gooden still tells stories about how he was going to start, and then the Jesus touched Billy, and Billy started. I said, "Hey, whatever it takes."
man, I mean, I'll be rehabbing in the dorm room, man. I'll be having I didn't stop rehabbing. I was trying to get back on the field, man. And for some reason, man, it's like I did heal a lot sooner than I was supposed to heal.
Well, UT's better for it.
All right, they did a great job of that, man. That's why I say the medical staff, don't get rid of your medical staff. Keep those guys. Like for instance, we just lost another strength and conditioning coach, but I
Hmm.
did hear that the replacement that we have, we're gonna love him just as well. That's all
Johnny
that.
Long.
No.
Well, that's the only move that would make me happy. Well,
Yes.
Tommy Moffett or Johnny Long.
Oh man, hey, everybody keep forgetting who Tony Moffett is. They don't realize where Tony Moffett is at and what he's down there creating. He's creating those monsters that we had. And if you go
Yeah, at LSU.
you go look at what they got down there, and you go down there and look at that D line what they be doing at LSU, man. It looks
They
it look like spitting images.
they look like UT in the '90s.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He is still using old school steel.
yeah.
He didn't switch to these cables and ropes and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen the Pilates stuff that Brady does. How long is that going to hold up before he gets something broke? Especially at Tampa now. What is he thinking? Tampa.
Oh man. So hey, so what time you normally work? You a night owl or you?
Well, yeah, usually that's when casinos do business, but
Okay.
right now, not at all because of this crazy virus. We're shut down. We'll
Yeah.
probably be one of the last things allowed back open. We usually do about 12 to 24,000 people through our place a day. So if you're trying to cut down the amount of people, touching or being around the same area, casinos need to stay closed for as long as they need to stay closed. Everyone's got to be smart on this.
You're right about that, man. I mean, because say if y'all open that casino up, man, you know how many people flying up in that place, especially with these
Yeah.
these these, these checks they're getting right now.
I call it stimulus rich.
You already know it, man. They'll be in there trying to luck. Hey, they're in there black or red with 1,200 on the line.
People have never bet $100 a hand before in their life. They
Oh,
got they got 12 chances, baby.
that's crazy, man. I can't do it, man. I go in because if I ever when I do go to casinos, I have my budget and my budget only. And when I say my budget, I'm trying not to even lose my budget. I go in there with $60, three $20 bills, Bill. And
Well, I can't say that.
I
I like to gamble, drink, and eat. So when I go, baby.
see, and the reason I do that is because the people that I have with me is probably gonna waste about 2-3 thousand grand dollars in this place, and I gotta win this money back. So I got to slow play this $60 at the blackjack table until I know what they lost.
Well, hold on. What does their money have to do with your money?
Because it is my money they're using.
Oh, you're staking them.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's the vig? How much you charge?
Man, I can't. Those 60. I'm playing. Look, I'm going to. I'm trying to find the $5 blackjack table, man.
Don't come to my casino. There are none.
I'm sitting there trying. I'm trying to sit there for at least 2 hours until my people come back and tell me what they don't lost, so I can go over to this crap table and win my money back.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I usually work at night, but I've always been a night person, so I'm sure that would drive Dan Brooks absolutely nuts because he always would come in. It was usually after a night he knew we were all out partying. D line coach Dan Brooks, he'd come in and say, "Well, can't soar with the Eagles in the morning if you're flying with the Owls at night," and he'd make some sort of loud noise, and everyone who was hungover was just like, "Oh God, here we go."
See, guys, y'all just heard that saying, right? I'm telling you, there's so many that we can come up with. That. Hey, the coaches, man, it used to be funny, man. Like, especially when they used to have morning runs, man.
Oh,
They'll
were you
pick.
there? Were you there with Robert Poole on the 110s when he went down to his jock strap?
Oh yes. Oh
Oh my God,
yes.
that I still laugh about that when I see that image in my head to this day. Ah,
Hey, Poole was gonna make them 110s, man.
he made him. He made him. He said he wasn't going to do him over again.
110s wasn't no joke, man. And to be honest with you, I only had to run them twice ever. And first time, that's that freshman year. You got to go. They make you do 8 or whatever,
Right.
and then the real times. But by the time I had to do the real times, Mike Rolo had done excuse me from doing that kind of stuff, and he had introduced me to what's called the pool rehab. And the pool
Well,
rehab,
got you better.
oh man, but the pool rehab, it was weird though, man. I mean, especially back then, you didn't really want to. I couldn't really swim like that, and they bring you to the Olympic sized pool over there in the aquatic center over there, and the pool like 30 feet deep. They want to put this little small vest on you, thinking it's gonna hold me up. I'm like, no, man, we need to go over here into the 6 feet.
I remember rehabbing over there with Big Richard Howard,
Oh my
and
god,
and
dude.
he had hurt his ankle. I hurt my ankle, and they're having us do just like plyometrics in the water. And Big Rich slipped, and Big Rich couldn't swim, so he started flailing around like he was drowning, like I'd never seen in my life, and everyone's just screaming, stand up," because he's 6'9". I think remember Blair Braswell. I think he was there for that. Man, was that a
Oh
funny time?
man, that is too funny. How big Rich gonna be like that, man? And he playing Debo on the team. Big Richard Howard, man. I remember that dude, man. He Deboed me plenty of times.
I had one of my first classes. Big Rich sat right next to me at UT. We're taking the class. And first test comes around, and he looks over at me. He goes, "You gonna let me see your answers?" And I sure did. I let him see every answer I wrote
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you how he got me though, Bill. It was like it's during the summertime. Ain't nothing going on or whatever, and Big Rich looked at me and said, "Hey, Warren, we gonna go to Cotton Eye Joe's." I'm like, Cotton Eye Joe, man, Cotton Eye Joe's. I've never been to Cotton Eye Joe's. I'm only 17 years old anyway at this time. And he's like, man, we gonna go to Cotton Eye Joe's. Man, I ain't going no Cotton. Oh, you gonna go to Cotton Eye Joe's? All right, Big Rich, I'm gonna go with you, man. All right, man. We get out to Cotton Eye Joe's, and of course, my ID. I mean, I don't have. I'm not 21, so I can't get into this place. And he's like, "Oh, you ain't got to worry about that." So we get to the front door, and the guy say IDs, and Big Rich looks at them, like, "Oh, you guys are good," and they let us in. I'm like, "What?" And of course, from there, it was the crazy experience of my life. Big Rich knew everybody. Get in
down.
there, big teddy bear, all the women in there. He got all of them in there, kikiing and laughing and all this stuff. I'm like, who the hell is this dude?
Yeah. He was pretty good with the ladies.
I was like,
But
who is this man?
man, if he just had a quick first step, he would have been a man, a
Yep.
beast.
Yep, you're right about that, man. When you just it's one of those situations, Bill. Guess who's in front of you?
Yeah, freak.
Gosh, is the lineman that we had. Gosh,
Yeah, he wasn't going to beat Jason Lehman out.
no, 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 no,
And then
man.
Chad Clifton. Yeah, sorry, you're in
Oh
trouble.
gosh, man. Oh, that's a lot of players, man. A lot of skills, man.
Well,
Ah, man.
hey Billy, I know you got to go, brother. Thank you so much for having me on your
Most
show.
definitely, man. And that's what I'm finna let you know, man. We're gonna get up out of here anyway, man. Bill, hey, thanks for coming on, man. Hey, this won't be the last time, man. I'm gonna try to get a segment with five, six of the ex athletes on here and do like a round table, man, and we're gonna shoot the stuff here and have a good time, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, Bill. Hey, love you, man.
All right, love you, Big Rat.
Take
Be
care,
good.
boss.
See you, brother.
Oh man, guys. Hey, Bill Duff, man. Hey, that's my dude, man. Hey, I'ma still get up out of here, guys. I still got to go get my little quick workout in. Let's see here, man. Hey, it's almost what 8 o'clock already. Wow, I didn't realize I was on this long, but guys, hey, thanks for watching. If you don't mind going over to YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell notification, let us know when we're live, and like this video, guys. Make sure you share it as well. Um, Once again, thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Peace.